Welcome back, guys, to another video. Now we're in Mississauga, Ontario at a beautiful gym called Temple Fitness. This gym is about 5,500 square feet, has beautiful machines. The color theme is green and black, has a beautiful aesthetic. Now it contains air bikes, dumbbells, has a whole CrossFit area. Honestly, man, has a lot to offer. So go take a tour. Welcome back, guys, to another video. Today I'm here with
Jason Chuck.
He's the owner of Temple Fitness, and today we have a few questions for him. So, Jason, it's a pleasure. Thank you for inviting me to your beautiful gym. Absolutely. I love the aesthetic, the black and green. So we're just gonna get right into it. So what got you started? How did you get started into this fitness venture?
Funny enough, I actually went to school for this. I'm probably one of the small percentages of people that actually do what they went to school for, because you know how it goes, right? You normally go to school, you do something, and then it changes. I actually went to school for fitness and health, and then I left, came back to school again after for business management. So it actually kind of worked out really hand in hand, because I wanted to be a personal trainer, and then after being a personal trainer for my first 2 years, I got into wanting to own a facility. Thankfully, I didn't at the time, because I knew that if I actually went into it at the timeline of when I was thinking, I would have failed miserably. Just
would have been hard.
Oh yeah, just because the direction and the vision that I had at the time was completely different than the vision that I have now. So I know that it would have been for a different purpose, and the purpose that I would have opened it for at that time wouldn't have been as successful as the vision that I tried to put together for now. You know?
So how long was that thought process into? I know you have a beautiful aesthetic here with that black and green, so I know a lot of thought goes into even just the aesthetic of it, but how was your process in terms of creating an idea and making it come to life?
So I actually took a big pause in fitness for a while. It's gonna sound kind of weird, but I got into DJing, and I did that from college. So I kind of back-burnered fitness for a while. I mean, I also kind of kept up with it because I played high-level rugby. So with that, I always had to kind of keep fit and kind of keep my feet in. But I kind of, stepped away for a bit, but then I kind of used that networking in the nightlife and kind of building those contacts and stuff like that, and keeping myself, like I said, still within fitness, to then, once the opportunity kind of presented itself, to get back into it after building all those relationships and contacts of personal trainers and other fitness influencers and stuff like that. Finding that direction of where I knew I wanted to get a facility where we can now empower more of the trainers as opposed to the corporation, you know? Because obviously you see your Good Lifes, your LAs, where obviously from a personal training perspective, you now basically get, say for instance, paid a small percentage of what they're charging. So I kind of wanted to empower it the other way around, just kind of seeing other trainers and friends that were in the industry for a long time, and knowing that, they were always upset at the fact that they worked for the corporate, and we're always kind of talking bad about the fact that it's what do you do? Why you take so much of our money? So I kind of wanted to kind of flip the script, and after kind of having a lot more resources and then a lot more contacts of people that were kind of in that lifestyle, it just kind of made sense at that time to go that direction, trying to house a facility where that could happen, right? We can kind of empower the trainer more so.
100%, because I know guys that are in Good Life or LA Fitness, any retail type of gym, and the compensation when training actual clients, it's not the same as being a freelancer or being at a private gym.
And think about it this way, right? If you're a paying customer, right? Do you want to know that it's hey, you're paying somebody, or you're paying this facility $80 a session, $100 a session, whatever the price is, knowing that the trainer's taking home 25? They're going to treat you like they're taking home 25, right? But you're paying them assuming that you're going to get $80 to $100 worth of service, right? But that's not the case. So when you kind of put it the other way and you flip the script a little bit, and now you're okay, you know what? As a business person, I'm basically saying, hey, I'm going to take care of you, right? You're my client. So what you pay me is the service I'm going to give you, right? So then the difference, how we kind of run our model here is more so kind of paying to the house as opposed to taking the majority from you. you know.
No, that makes sense, and you're like, actually looking out for those trainers. That's dope. To be honest, it's like almost like a movement if you really think about it. Like
Try
that,
to be,
you
right?
know?
You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
everyone's got to eat.
100%. Everybody has to eat, and you're actually giving them the opportunity to do that. So I really respect that, honestly. Now, Temple, how did you come up with that name, dog?
So so I'll tell you, to be honest, like lime green's always been my favorite color.
Yeah.
Right. So and my business partner, you know, we won't say any names, but same thing with him. Like we kind of always like lime green's been our color. So as soon as I kind of told him the color scheme, he was like, done, 100%. But tempo was actually came from the fact that it was kind of the music background, right? So it kind of hit.
That's
sides,
neat. That's
right?
neat.
Because coming from like the DJ lifestyle, obviously, you know, tempo being music, the music side,
Yeah.
and then obviously seeing it from like thinking high pace, thinking, you know, thinking fast, thinking everything has to be just like at a tempo as opposed to just kind of slow and steady, right? So that kind of just hand in hand kind of made sense. At first, it's funny because when I brought it up, I remember in my business partner, I was like, Tempo, and he's like, oh, Temple. He's like, yeah, that's great. He's like, I always wanted to open a spot called the Temple. And I'm like, no, bro, Tempo.
Yeah.
T-M-P-O.
Oh, it's a temple.
Like, I was like, the temple, like this, like a fitness temple.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
No, we actually, and then I told him Tempo, and then he was like, oh yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
We've just been running with it ever since.
That's dope. That's neat. That's crazy. So I know, obviously, you have a lot of equipment in here. I know it's gonna be out of the blue type of question, but do you know exactly all the equipment that you have and the amount of like bikes you have in this gym?
Everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You have everything.
Oh, yeah.
So name some of the stuff that you have in this gym.
Couple bench presses, couple leg extensions, leg curls, GHD machine, quad stack cable system, 4 power squat racks that kind of have all the attachments and the options of using like bench presses with them. 4 platforms, 2 Olympic, 2 deadlift. Like I said, 4 bikes, like you said, 2 prowlers. I think it's like 8 ladders just to kind of get specific.
You get that in there, you know, that's crazy.
A bunch of, we got a lot of stuff, man. When you see it every day, you just know yourself.
No, as soon as I come in here, I see like I used to be an athlete, so I love functional training. I love making sure that the equipment that I use is in that gym. You know what I mean? So, for example, I went to another gym and I wanted to do some back extensions, and they didn't have nothing for back extensions. That was a problem for me because I was working a whole posterior chain, and I'm like, damn, I can't finish this workout properly. I had to do an alternative. You know what I mean? I had to literally find a Swiss ball, and I was doing like. I did some thoracic extensions off of that just to compensate for that. But yeah, I had to find something. You know what I mean? I had to find something. I don't like that. I want to go to the gym knowing that everything's there for me. So,
well, kind of going on that same point, right? Like, we get a lot of general population sometimes that'll walk in and they'll be like, wow, this is like a beautiful space. Like, I love the colors. I love this. I love that. But it's like, I wish you had a little bit more electronic cardio or a little bit more single station equipment. But I'll be like, you know what? Honestly, LA Fitness is right across the street. I think you'll thrive there.
Yeah.
We're very like intermediate to advanced, obviously, unless you're working with like a personal trainer, just because we're trying to keep that culture of like functional activity, right? So as opposed to having that machine that just does it for you, it's kind of like you have to kind of have a little bit of like knowledge as to what you're doing, right?
100%.
So like you said, like if you're trying to do something posterior now, you'd have that general knowledge of, okay, like, you know, with dumbbells, with kettlebells, with whatever, like I can make that work, right? And the good thing is with our community is that you have so many people that have excelled at so many different sports. There's so many, for so long in fitness and stuff like that, that there's so much knowledge here, right? So a lot of people are feeding off of each other all the time. You know what I mean? So it's like you might see somebody doing something that you've never done. And a lot of times people come in intimidated. You might be like, the dog in what you do, and then all of a sudden you're seeing somebody do something that you don't do yourself, and you're kind of like, how do I like get into that? And then you start asking questions, and that's how that kind of relationship starts. Of like, okay, well, you know what, try this, or I've never done this before. Here's a great way of starting.
That's a fact. That's bars too, dog. That's the truth. So I know you have equipment in here, but look at these borders right here. Where did that idea come from? That's so different. I've never seen that in a gym in my life.
So obviously with COVID, we had to kind of adapt, and we had to, you know, do some things regulation-wise, and just to make sure that we were obviously staying in code and stuff like that. So this was actually put up originally with COVID, just like after, you know, once we got like the opportunity to open up and stuff like that, just to kind of give space and to let people feel like they weren't necessarily like right next to you. But why I kept them up actually, and it was all the way to the garage before, but then we kind of just took a couple down. But why I kept it up is because it made a lot of sense knowing that, like, say for instance, you're doing wall balls, right? If you're doing wall balls and I'm doing wall balls and this is not here, I have to be a certain, like, comfortable amount of space away from you, right? I'm probably gonna be like 10 feet away from you.
You kind of get in someone's bubble.
But I could literally be right here, right on the other side of this bubble, and you could be standing right here. We could be 3 feet away, but with this little glass beside us, and it's gonna feel like you have your own space, right? So now, because it's kind of set up almost like sections, right? It gives you an opportunity for more people to use more space without feeling like you're kind of cramming something.
Yeah, you're not. Yeah, exactly. That's crazy, man. That's a great idea. This is beautiful structure. And honestly, I think it kind of adds a beautiful aesthetic to your gym. This is different. It's not in any other gym what I've seen so far.
Yeah.
So for you to actually do that and go with the COVID protocol, such a great idea. Now, since we're talking about equipment still, what is your favorite equipment in this gym?
Has to be, and I put this on the quote, the Booty Buster 2000.
Okay, for sure.
Booty Buster 2000. So basically what it is, it's a hip thrust machine.
Yeah.
You know, traditionally whenever anybody wants to do hip thrust, what do? They take a barbell, they find some space, they run it off of the back of a bench, and then that way it's like they would get under the bar, they have to load up the bar. It's just a lot of hassle to move around, right? So I found a piece of equipment that was just a hip thrust bench that like I said, the Booty Buster 2000, where it's basically like, it's easy to load, right? You can adjust it for the distance of how far you are away, for the depth levels, and then you can just literally just have to put the plates on the side like a leg press, right? And then they actually have a pedal as well for where you can elevate your feet, so it's a little bit more hamstring focused.
Oh, that's neat. That's neat.
You know what I mean? So you kind of have like the best of both worlds, where you kind of can, you know, isolate glutes, or you can go to hamstrings as well. So I love that machine.
That's super dope, dog.
All guys need to start hip thrusting. Okay? If you're not hip thrusting right now, I'm telling you right now. I'm not gonna tell you why. I'm not gonna tell you why.
Get your game up.
Keep your hip thrusts in your routine. Okay.
That's a big fact. That's a big fact. So I don't know if I asked you this from before, but what year did you guys open? Because I know you're talking about COVID and stuff like that. But what year did Temple actually open?
So we actually officially opened December 2018.
Oh, 2018.
Yeah.
So right before, like.
So we got really lucky because we had a full year of 2019 for like tax purposes and everything. Because obviously, you know, COVID hit us in February, March of 2020, and I feel bad for a lot of the businesses that opened in 2019 because you never had a full year of like tax and income stuff. They weren't giving you government subsidies, right? So like that, like those loans, the, you know, rent, where they took like say 90% of your rent and stuff like that and kind of covered all that stuff. You were getting any of those, right?
Yeah.
So for us, it's like we got lucky because we were getting some of those, not everything, but we were obviously eligible to get some things, right? So 2018 was a good year. Thankfully, we opened in that time.
It is a good year, and it's funny too because I believe that social media was changing a lot too at that time, and I feel like a lot of people are getting more into fitness. You know what I mean? From before, it wasn't like that. So I think you definitely got in at a great time. You know, so I have a lot of respect for that too. Now, I know that you're obviously a gym owner, but you're also a gym trainer too yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
Personal training as well.
What kind of style do you do for when it comes to training your clients?
I like to be very functional. I work with a lot of supersets. Clients hate me for it. You know.
Most of my trainers like that too, so I like that too.
Yeah, but like I do have a lot of athletes. Specifically more so than general population, just gravitational pull, you know, of athlete to athlete kind of thing. Being that I do play rugby and stuff like that too, it's like I do have a lot of rugby clients. And you know, if you know anything about the sport, it's everything, right? You got to use a little bit of everything. It's physical, heavy contact. You know, you got to be able to run fast, run long, be strong. You know what I mean? So all the factors play. So it's really good because you have a lot of creativity to things that you can do, but at the same time, your structure is very set. You know when your off season is, you know when your on season is, and just the way you prepare for it it's good because it works out really well because the things that I'd be doing is ideally the timelines and the way that I'd be training those clients because our timelines match up. You know what I mean? So it's like it's not like I'm going through like heavy hypertrophies and then I'm trying to train someone to be, you know, all like pre-game stuff. Where it's like your off season, my off season. Your on season is my on season. So it's natural that the things that I'm doing that are kind of flowing through my brain are going to be the things that I'm going to be having you do. And it's easier to kind of pay attention to that client to be like, oh, hey, you know what? I can see in your game, or I can see in your steps and your feet and the way that you're moving that this is something we need to adjust. You know.
Yo, I should have did a training session with you, man. That's crazy. Because
We'll get one.
I used to play football, so like I was trained to go CFL. My dreams was going to NFL and everything. I played at CIS at Laurier.
Okay.
So I love football. I used to be a little bit bigger, cutting weight, just a little bit aesthetic, you know what I mean? But at the same time, just focus on more functionality, still having that explosiveness, and you get it, you know. Being an athlete, you still want to have that athlete feel, even though I'm not playing anymore, you know. So it's pretty dope. But yeah, we definitely have to get something going.
We'll get one in, bro. We'll get one in, 100%.
100%. So I know that this is like your home, but do you have any future plans when it comes to Tempo?
So it's bittersweet saying it, but this specific facility is going to be actually moving into 2 facilities. So we're actually be leaving this location and actually moving into 2 different spaces, but those 2 different spaces are within still within Mississauga, but then also within Markham. Right, so we're actually getting a little bit of that East Coast culture now. I call it, right? Just because just because it's like Mississauga is kind of always where we've been. So like our clientele mainly come from Mississauga, Brampton, and Etobicoke, right? Sometimes even from like the Oakville side. And we do have a lot of like athletes and stuff like that will come down from the East End, from like that North York, Scarborough, Markham, Markham side. But it's just now it's nice just knowing that like we have that opportunity where it's a little bit easier for people. And I'm excited because it is kind of tapping into a whole new market, but with our same branding, right? And like the way that we're doing the partnerships and everything set up, it's like now we're kind of embedding ourselves with physiotherapy as well, where we're kind of really tight now with a physio company, and as well as like a sports specific company. I won't say any names for the video and stuff like that, but we will be kind of having a lot more added amenities and stuff like that that'll be really catered to the athlete and catered to the person that takes their fitness that seriously. You know what I mean? Where it's like just as important as your exercises, your nutrition and your physio is just as important, right? So we're just gonna try to embed all those bodies into one house.
That's dope. Honestly, that's cool. I can't wait for what the future has in store for you. Last question: what sets you apart from other gyms that you'd say?
I think it's our culture and our community. One thing I really pride is our community here. Normally, we've all been to those big commercial gyms. We've all been to the Good Life, the LAs and stuff like that, where it's like, and I'm not trying to name drop and hate on those places. If you can go there and be successful, go there and be successful. Yo. We're not hating. I'm just comparing because we've all been there.
But if you don't have haters, they ain't popping. That's what I'm saying.
And I think one of the big things is just the fact that it's like, you walk in that place and you don't know who people are, right? You might see the same people, the 5 o'clock people that you see, you fist bump that one guy, you know what I mean? That one girl that whatever it is. But it just kind of feels like sometimes like the culture can be a way where it's like, I'm just here, it's busy, I just want to get this over with, right? Well, for us, it's kind of the reverse, where people come and, I call a couple guys out all the time, like some of my buddies that come here and stuff like that. They'll be here for 4 hours and work out for them.
That's crazy.
Just get into conversations and stuff like that. At the end of the day, it's like that's what you kind of want it to be. You want it to be a place where it's get in, get out when it comes to what you're doing, right? When it comes to the exercise, so you're not kind of nonchalant on what you're trying to accomplish. But at the same time, it's like the community is like you're surrounding yourself with like-minded people, right? And people that are chasing the same kind of goals, chasing the same dreams, and like at the same time, it's like these are people you're building like lifelong relationships with, right? So, if you're gonna come here and it's a Friday, and you want to spend a Friday night at the gym and a couple hours kind of socializing with some people, maybe get some food after, and you're not out at the club drinking and spending money on bottle service. Hey, that's pro fitness. That's pro fitness right there.
I like it.
Right? It's pro fitness, right? So you got to think about it's just like the things that you could be doing versus the things that you are doing. If you're gonna spend that extra time, and I remember having this conversation with one of my members one time, I'm like, bro, you're still here? Right? He's like, bro, it's here or I'm gonna be on the couch doing what? And I was like, bro, stay as long as you want. Because at the end of the day, it's like if you're gonna be here, and even if you're going through a slow process of your workout, but like you're getting stuff done, you're learning something, or you're having a conversation that's like building on, your mindset when it comes to health overall. I'll take that as a win.
100%. I think even for me, when I was an athlete, even now, to be honest, I still train like 6 times a week. But I love it. I feel like it helps me have a clear mind of what I'm like of my life, you know what I mean? It's somewhere, it's like a safe zone, you know, a safe spot. So I come here, just kind of get my dopamine flowing off of the workout. Then after I get to kind of like meditate and focus on and think about my life and think about ways to get more healthy, become 1% better every single day.
100%, and that's like a big thing for us, right? Like I always like to tell people this whenever they ask about the community. I'm like, you know what it is? It's like the first time you come in, it'll be kind of like you might do your own thing, right? The next time you come in, it might be the head nod, like I see you, right? And then the next time you come in, it might be the dad. Like you might be like, all right, what's going on? You already know. And then it all of a sudden turns into this, like, what are you working today?
Oh yeah, it's a conversation.
Cool. Yeah,
I feel that.
My legs are killing me from yesterday, and then it becomes a conversation. Then it becomes like it just kind of keeps building off that, right? Until it's the community support of, oh, this person's going for a 1 rep max, and everyone stops their workout to pay attention to support it. 3 rep max, same thing. You know what I mean? So it's like you kind of get that crazy support here. You know, it's like people know. At least for me, it's like they know as soon as like certain music comes on, they're like, oh, Jay's on. He's on today. He's going for it. You know what I mean? It's like you hear Meek Mill, Jadakiss, or Dave East. Jeez. Right? Any of those 3, and all of a sudden I'm pulling up songs. It's just like, oh shit, he's about to do something. He's trying to do something.
Because you're that DJ, like this guy has on the whole hot list. You know what I mean?
You know, you gotta
curate one for me. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Got you for sure.
That's good. That's good. So, Jason, where can they find you on Instagram, and where can they find Tempo Fitness?
So, you know, the brand's always bigger than yourself. So, first things first, Tempo Fitness at Tempo Fitness Performance. You'll find that all one word on IG. I guess for personal, for mine it's Jason Chuck _. So you can also find me there too. Just those 2, man. 2 main things. You know?
And there you guys have it. Another beautiful gym in the wraps. We're here with my boy Jason. He gave us a little glimpse of what he's doing right now. So yeah, we're out. CEO, big dog. Yes, sir, skis. This gym was beautiful to shoot. Honestly, T and Tyrone both put me through a great workout, and I'm excited to show you guys what we have in store. Now, if you guys want to follow this gym on IG, that is at Tempo Fitness. And if you guys want to see more reels like this, you can follow me on IG at CEO Devante. Or if you want to see the full video, go to my YouTube, subscribe to the channel at Life of CEO. Now, one last question for you guys. Is this a place where you would like to work out? Let's get it.